This review contains spoilers. We start with a preparation montage for the All Valley Karate Championship. The Cobra Kai members are waiting for Johnny to show up. Bert tells them that he saw Johnny last night and doubts that he will come due to his encounter the night before. He shows up, and before they sign up, Johnny wants to teach them one more lesson: to have no mercy. He gives a speech which motivates everyone. We then jump to Daniel and Samantha, who are sitting on the couch and both are upset because of the Miguel and Robbie situation. Amanda talks to them and wants them to go to the tournament, which they do. The tournament is about to start and the participant dojos get introduced. To everyone's surprise, Robbie is here too, but alone, since Daniel kicked him out in the previous episode. And the tournament starts. We see a few fights, and after Isha gets defeated, Sam talks with her and they can resolve their conflict. The tournament continues with the semi-final. Daniel is still upset about the lying part, but she tries to make him clear that this wasn't happening out of spite, that he behaved like a kid. In a fight between Hawk and Robbie, Daniel shouts to Robbie that he shall remember what he learned. Robbie starts to balance himself and is gaining the upper hand. Hawk gets more and more frustrated and does Robbie wrong with kicking him from behind in his back. He gets, of course, disqualified. Johnny asks Hawk what he was thinking, and Hawk answers in a rude way. They have a break and Daniel goes to Robbie and talks with him. They resolve the conflict as well, and Daniel gives him the advice on how to deal with the Johnny situation. Miguel tries to talk to Sam. He apologizes for hitting her and tries to explain his motto to strike first and not wait for the enemy. Sam, confused by him, tells him that she doesn't know anymore who he is, which makes Miguel angry and tells her that she shall watch what he will do with Robbie. Sam, saddened by what just happened, leaves with her mom. In the meantime, a medic took care of Robbie's shoulder. Daniel, in full support of Robbie, lets announce that Robbie is part of the Miyagi-Do. Miguel does Robbie dirty as well and wins in the end. After the tournament, Johnny goes to Daniel and Robbie and apologizes. Sam is at home in their home dojo and does a karate move. Robbie is disappointed to not have won the tournament. Daniel tells him that he fought with honor and that he can be proud of himself. And Daniel tells him that he is proud of Robbie. Then Daniel shows Robbie the Miyagi dojo. John is in his dojo drinking alone and Carice shows up. This episode had nothing I really disliked, so let's start with the good things. We start with the montage in which the preparations for the tournament get done. As background music we hear Queen, I Want It All. It does a perfect job in increasing the anticipation for the tournament. The callbacks to Karate Kid beside the tournament itself are when they Cobra Kaiing their way into the room, this stand, Mr. Miyagi's There is no such thing as a bad student, only a bad teacher, the Mr. Miyagi miracle healing move, and Mr. Miyagi's dojo. What I really liked was when Miguel and Robbie finally have their face off. You really hope for both to win. It was, at least for me, like this, which shows how well written the characters are. And it's even more painful to see Miguel, this nice guy who got bullied and fights dirty like this. You even care for minor characters like Aisha and Hawk. The speech Johnny gives makes totally sense from his perspective. But at the tournament, we see how wrong things can go when an ideology goes too far or to an extreme. We see Johnny struggling with what Hawk and Miguel did to Robbie. We get flashbacks to the fight in which Johnny fought Daniel dirty because Chris made him do so, and Johnny was, in the movie, seemingly disturbed and afraid of Chris. The struggle for Johnny is even more impactful because it is his own son who will suffer through these rules of his dojo. What really was great was the moment Johnny was talking to Miguel, telling him he has to win in the right way, that he doesn't have to fight dirty. Miguel then says that there is nothing dirty about winning, that Johnny taught him that. Johnny has no control over his student and over himself. That whole theme about this ideology of his. We had throughout the season a few different occasions, and even Daniel talked in episode 3 with Johnny about this. Johnny just said that he isn't Chris, but for this, he didn't have to be like Chris. I'm curious if there will be adjustments to strike first, strike hard, no mercy, and how this will impact Miguel, Johnny and Hawk. How they sort out the conflict between Daniel and Robbie was great, and I see here a huge difference between Daniel and Johnny. Johnny's alone with everything. Nobody's here for advice or corrections. But Daniel has Amanda, who can bring him on the right path. She did this in episode 2 with the pool party. She did it after Daniel plotted to raise Johnny's rent for the dojo, and you had this in the previous episode, in the very beginning. And even in this episode. So Daniel talks with Robbie and tells him that he can't let the bad blood change who he is. It is good advice. We decide who we are through how we act. It's not always easy to deal with this, but to let this destructively influence us is on us, and we can let go of it. And Daniel doesn't trash talk about Johnny, which is a very nice touch. Johnny apologizes and Robbie takes it. If we think about the last direct encounter in episode 4, Robbie was very aggressive towards Johnny. And apologizing is, for some people, a really difficult thing. So we see here character growth for both. And Daniel has character growth as well, since he doesn't see Johnny as a monster. The first season was amazingly good. Yes, it has some problems, and the weakest episode was the third. And this episode was still okay. The people who work on this show really love the Karate Kid movie, and it shows. You find a lot of callbacks to the movie, and you still can enjoy this show even if you never have seen the movie. How they treat the characters show as well their care. With the main characters, you see no black and white. Johnny and Daniel have good and bad sides, and with Miguel and Robbie is it the same. You see how all of the characters grow and deal in an understandable and relatable manner. The side characters, even if they have not the same screen time, are interesting enough that you care. Aisha and Hawk are the most interesting of them. They respect your time. You have no filler, and each and every scene is needed. And the humor is just great. The show treats you like a grown-up. No pandering, no preaching. They show you certain things, and we can decide what we think of it. The acting is sometimes a bit off, but you can forgive this with ease because the show is just so good. They took a franchise and added new lore without burning down the previous movies, which is amazing. Cobra Kai Season 1 is a must watch, so please give it a try. So, this was the review of the last episode of the season. What did you think about this episode? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and spread the word. You take care. Have a nice one. See ya.
How can you be so calm?
Extreme martial arts.
Ya, pase lo que pase, va a aprender algo. Y también me fumé un poco de la mota antes de venir.